Hello everyone and welcome to the Monster Mile. I'm your host tonight, Noah Walter, and you join me live here for the Hoodpin 150 at the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. Unfortunately, I do have some bad news here tonight, and that is I will not be commentating tonight's race here at the Monster Mile. Unfortunately, I am sick, as I'm sure you can probably tell by my voice. And it's been kind of difficult to speak clearly for a while. So going out here for at least an hour, probably closer to an hour and a half, just non-stop talking is not going to be good for the good old voice box. So with that, we are going to be silent here tonight, unfortunately. But every now and then I will be popping in and giving some interviews or just giving some general information, whatever I can throughout this time. But we do have a fantastic race ahead of us here at the Monster Mile. Unfortunately, I don't think we have a lot of time as soon as we... Never mind. I think we'll have plenty of time. But we do have fantastic attendance yet again here tonight. Not quite the 29 active cars and the 30 attendees that we had last week at the CASCAR 250 and duels. You can watch the replay here on twitch.tv/4cloak. And later that will be uploaded to YouTube as well. So if you're joining us there, thank you for tuning in. And we are going to be in for a great race. So with that, though, we are going to have a few start in parks and a few unable to attends here tonight as well. That does happen here in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. It's just not everybody can make it, and it seems like actually a fair amount of other drivers are not feeling fantastic either. I know Will Cloud said that he will be starting parking as he is not feeling great, but that unfortunately means we won't be able to see a 48 dominance that we've seen in actual NASCAR. Hey, Mike, great to see you. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for tuning in. We are in for a great show here tonight. You guys are gonna I think we're gonna have a lot of wrecks here tonight we're gonna be able to watch. So the good part is I will be here, so if there's any issues, please let me know and I will keep track of anything. But don't worry, we'll go through all of the cautions and stuff too, so we can see what's going on here at the Monster Mile. With that, though, we're going to be running out qualifying in just a few minutes, so we'll be right back when we come back in and go through our qualifying order before we go green. Alright, we join in. Let's go ahead and go through our qualifying order. Starting in on pole position, it's going to be Richard Beasley in the number 10. In his first start, he was unable to join us last week at Daytona, so it's good to see the 10 car back and doing well. And alongside him on the outside, it's going to be the 48 of Bryn George in the number 45 Toyota. Row number 2 inside lane goes to the Toyota this week. Unfortunately, drove a Chevy for him. He is the Equipment Geek Toyota team. The 39 of Brandon Fiedler. Wes Gallo is going to be bringing out 4th position alongside for FZ Racing. Row number 3 inside lane is going to go to James Johnson in the 93 with Greg Snellgrove in the 22 alongside. Row number 4 inside lane is going to go to the 55 of Jeffrey Belk with the 88 of Tyler Hallahan, bringing up the outside in 8th. Row number 5 inside lane is going to go to Kyle Mundell with Jacob McMillan in his first start as a sub-driver for Brian Lorenzo here in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Up Series, bringing up the outside for 10th position. Row number 6, 11th, goes to Chris Stroop. Actually was butchering that last name last week. I apologize, Chris, but yes, it's Chris Stroop in the 87 for 11th, with Brian Fradian in the 81 alongside in 12th. Row number 7 inside is going to go to Rob Carl with Ben McDonald alongside. Row number 8 is going to go to Matt Malavagna and Cody Snyder for 15th and 16th. Row number 7 inside lane is going to go to Paul Ems in the 28 with Patrick Coluccio alongside in the 18. These two used to be teammates, but now they are going to be fighting against each other here for these back positions here at the start. Row number 10 inside lane is going to go to Michael Sparks, just joined us in the chat, in the number 42 with Mark LaPierre alongside in the 8. Row number 11 inside is going to go to Kenny Reel in the 11, also in his first start, with Ashton Reiki alongside in the 26. Row number 12 is going to go to Brett Murphy and Will Cloud. Brett unable to qualify, and Will, I believe, who's going to be starting parking. Row number 13 inside is going to go to Sylvan Seguin. And unfortunately, Daniel Skies, who did join in the session, will not be able to race with us here tonight. I believe that is going to be 26 cars, 25, depending on which which thing you believe. So I'm getting both. But with that, though, we're here at the Monster Mile, coming in for the Hoodpin 150. This race is unsponsored, so if you want to sponsor a race, go ahead and get in contact with the league administrators here. And you can get your name on one of these races. With that, though, the Iris.com pace truck pulls down pit lane, and we're going to be going green this time here at the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series with Richard Beasley leading us to the green flag. I thank you for coming to us, and this is going to be the time where I dip out. Thank you, and I'll be here, so if you have any concerns, let me know. right, and across the line we hit a white flag for the stage. Surprisingly, we've gone caution-free here before the stage here at Dover. I was highly expecting to see at least 2 cautions before then, but with 3 drivers out and several many laps down, we have definitely seen some fantastic racing though. And with 1, 2, 3 going to be coming across the line with a huge gap from your leader of Richard Beasley. Across the line, taking the checkered flag for the stage. Richard Beasley in his first start here for the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series starts a 1-2-3 finish for Warning Track Racing. Chris Stroop across the line finishes second in the stage, and Kyle Mendel finishes third in the stage, taking 1-2-3 for Warning Track. Looks like a big celebration going to be happening tonight, at least for that, depending on how the rest of this race goes. We see some cheering on from the chat from Matt Stewart. It's great to see. All right. With that, though, it's going to interview your stage winner once he rolls down pit road. I don't like to interview these guys too early because otherwise they mess up their pit stops and stuff. But we've had some fantastic racing. I once again want to apologize for not having the commentary today. I am just not feeling good, and my throat starts to seize up after a little bit, and I begin to cough. So we don't want to listen to that the entire time, and I actually want to be able to go to work tomorrow, somewhat. So with that, though, let's go and watch these guys as they roll down pit road, and we'll see how Richard Beasley is doing. Once again, we'll just wait for him to hit his pit stop before we bring him up. He's going to have the front pit stop. Fantastic drive so far. Richard Beasley, it is your first race here in the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series, and you just won the stage. How does it feel?
Feels great. Feels good, man.
You definitely have a very good proficiency here at Dover. Tell us, what's your secret?
Just gotta be smooth. It's a long. That was a long run there under green with these cars. Got real tight, then it got loose. You just gotta be smooth and hang on for the ride.
Definitely, that is certainly being the case. I was told that roughly around 15 laps in is when your tires just disappear, but the fact you're able to run the entire stage, that's just so impressive.
Yeah, we were very close on fuel. We were saving there under the last probably 10 laps. We were clutching it. We had maybe a gallon left under yellow there, so it was close.
Definitely. Well, thank you much for your time, and congratulations on the stage win. Who do you have to thank before I let you go?
Thanks, man. I want to thank TCM, Tim's Corner Motorsports, all the guys at Warning Track Racing, Matt, Christopher, CJ, Kyle, all those guys down there.
All right. Well, thank you very much again, and good luck.
Thank you.
Were you Beasley?
Oh, I just brought
Beasley's back.
Down. Oops. Let's go ahead and move Richard down. As you can see, I am definitely out of it here today. My apologies. That was Richard Beasley, though, able to secure the stage win from first place, able to hold on to it with some very intense vigor. Has a very good proficiency here at Dover. Soon will be going green once again, though, and it will be up to him and a couple other drivers to see how long they can hold on to the lead. They will not have as... I don't know. They got a longer run to the finish, so they have to pit at least one more time. And with the amount of drivers that I saw hit pit road early, I think we're going to be seeing some very interesting strategy calls today here at the Hairpin 150. So before I go again, I got to give a thank you to Schroeder Plumbing, who has sponsored this season yet again here for the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series. They do fantastic work, and we have to thank them for being such good sponsors. But to give some information about them, though, they are a family-run business that has been working in the southeastern Wisconsin area. They specialize in residential new construction and remodeling plumbing services. They also work with several local builders, where they will work with individuals hoping to build their dream home or do their own remodeling. You can give them a call today at their office number, 262-971-0401. That number, once again, is 262-971-0401, Schroeder Plumbing. We saw a lot of struggles in the last run. We saw Greg Snellgrove hit the wall several times with major right front damage. So we're going to see how many times that happens here again at Dover for the Hairpin 150, as Richard Beasley is going to be bringing us to the green flag. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back soon. All right, so we had a yellow here at Dover. Following along with Greg Snowgrove, you can see why this was definitely took a minute to find. So currently with Snowgrove tailing behind the 81 at Fradian, we see something hit the wall. Invisible though, and he slides up the track. It's the 93. Oh, you can see that big collision. Into Snowgrove, sending them both up. I mean, that's unfortunate. It's the 93 who we just couldn't see. Yikes. Absolutely unfortunate for James Johnson, who I think he just completely disconnected due to his internet, because we could not see him at all. Collides into the wall. We'll be right back and see if we can interview somebody else before we go back green. Alright, so let's go ahead and... Who do we grab? That is a good question. Let's go grab Jeffrey Belk. Jeff is open in the booth. Do you read me?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, but right now you're running in the top 5. That must feel pretty good.
Yeah, didn't really expect to be here.
It has definitely been a very chaotic race.
That I have. I'm actually surprised this is the first non-stage caution.
I know. I was mentioning that when we were first in the stages, we managed to run 60 laps completely clean.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you see how loose these cars get off of turns 2 and 4. These sidewalls do not like lateral forces put on them. And a track like this, different surface than normal, and all the bumps in the track, it's just the rear end just does not like it at all.
What's going to be your strategy going forward?
Try to save what tire we can. It'd be better to have it at the end and pull by those that use it up early.
Makes a lot of sense to me. Well, who do you have to thank before I let you go here tonight?
Let's see, Forklift Media. Yeah, you for broadcasting. JB55, Equipment Geek, Sports Star Shock, Helmet Stalker, everyone out there.
All right. Well, thank you much for your time, Jeff. I certainly do appreciate it, and good luck.
Thank you. Have it going.
Jeffrey Belk in the number 55 Toyota Camry, running the Jeffrey Belk 55 scheme, no longer a forklift scheme. As they come off turns 3 and 4, it's going to be Richard Beasley and Chris Stroop once again leading us to the green flag. We will be back next yellow or whenever we deem we can. absolutely unfortunate for Chris Stroop, who just got in that collision down the front stretch, breaking up the warning track racing 1, 2, 3. Yellow did not come out, but that is within the last 12 laps of this race. I can only imagine the heartbreak felt by him and his team. We'll update as time goes on, and we'll be back. Well, with a dominating lead, leading every single lap of this race from the start, and from a pole position, it's across the line, and it's a win for Richard Beasley in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series for the Hoodpin 150. His first start here, and an absolute blast it was. Only one caution yellow, as the other one was for stage. Absolutely impressive for Beasley and for Warning Track Racing, who had quite the race. here tonight, but that was a very interesting race overall. We'll go ahead and review some of it, but with that, though, we're going to go ahead and let Beasley celebrate before we bring up your third place finisher, Kyle Mundell. Still a very interesting and honestly, I think this was a very good show of what this season is going to entail. Drivers were all over the board, and there was a lot of interesting strategies at play, trying to determine which route was the best to play for each driver, and it all depends on who you were. So with that, though, let's go and bring up your third place finisher of Kyle Mundell.
Good talk.
Oh, sorry for bringing up just in the wrong time. Kyle, it's an open the booth. Do you read me?
I do, man. Noah, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well, but you just got yourself a podium finish here in the second race of the season. How does it feel?
It feels really good. That was a lot of fun. Like all three of us, me, Beasley, and Stroop had a great race, other than one small error from Stroop at the end, but like we locked a lot of people a lap down. We were just cruising from start to finish.
I can only imagine the heartbreak that you guys felt when he lost it off of turn number 4.
I feel like he won't admit it, but I feel like I might have been a tiny part of it, because I was looking and we were up like 3 or 4 seconds at one point on P4, and then I could see Rob. We had some bad luck with lap traffic, and I could see Rob. It came like 2.5, 2, 1.5, 1, and I was like, I just kind of said it out loud. I was like, hey, like Rob's closing. And then literally the next turn, I watched him lose the back end. I'm like, oh, what have I done? Why did I say anything?
Oh, goodness. Still a great race for you guys. Who do you have to thank for being on your car here tonight?
Well, first off, iRacing and yourself for broadcasting. Noah, I hope you feel better. Teammates, Beasley was unstoppable tonight. I don't think anyone was beating him. Stroop was super fast, and even Jimmy when he was around. Unfortunately, I think there's a storm going through New York, and it might have kind of screwed him up. But and then Movember for sponsoring, and Warning Track Racing again, and then Brandon Shoulders Plumbing for sponsoring the series.
All right. Well, Kyle, thank you much for your time, and congratulations on the podium finish.
Thanks, Noah. Feel better.
Thank you. Kyle Mundell finishes in third place here at the Hairpin 150. A very good race for him. Let's go ahead and bring up your second place finisher, Rob Carl of Great White North. Oh, that's if we can grab him. We should be able to. There we go. Rob is over the booth. Do you read me?
Hey, Noah, how are you?
I'm doing okay. A second place finish for you. How does it feel?
That felt pretty good. Dover's a tough track. This is a good points track to try and make some time up.
Makes a lot of sense to me. I know that Daytona did not go quite perfectly for you, so coming back in and having a very strong finish, I can only imagine feels great.
Yeah, the car was good. This was a big tire management race, so I was trying to stay on pace at the beginning without falling off too bad, but I had something left at the end.
Yeah, I mean, that was a fantastic run you had at the end. The amount of time you were able to close onto Stroop and then Mundell is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, Kyle and that was a lot of fun racing with him for those last laps. I wouldn't have been mad about a third. He deserved a second. It was good racing.
Yeah, well, before I let you go, who do you have to thank for being on your car here tonight?
I got to thank Greg and the guys at Great White North for the opportunity, and it's looking, hopefully we're going to have a good year all together, and we work well together, and excited for that.
All right. Well, thank you much for your time, and congratulations on the second place finish.
Thanks.
Number 2 of Rob Carl finishing second here at Dover. I see your point, Mike. I'm sorry, my volume, I can't adjust my microphone volume to make it any louder as of now. We'll have to come back with that and see what we can do. Oh, it got blocked out. I'm sorry. Daniels, guys, thank you very much for the follow, and welcome to the Four Cloak family. I apologize for having the chat box just below when it got cut off, but thank you very much for the follow, and go ahead and welcome. With that, though, let's go and bring up our race winner, the number 80, nope, that's a completely wrong number, the number 10, Richard Beasley, winning here at Dover. Richard's no open the booth. Do you read me?
Yes, sir.
You just won your first race here in the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series. How does it feel?
Feels good, man. Feels good. I didn't know how we were gonna do tonight, but we did all right.
You guys absolutely did. I mean, what an impressive show from you and Warning Track Racing.
Yeah, man, it was a team effort. Those guys down there, Chris Stroop, Kyle Mundell, Matt Stewart, who wasn't here tonight, but I'm sure he was cheering us on. Yeah, it was just a good team race for us.
He absolutely was. I mean, I know you said earlier that your strategy was just to keep the car smooth, but it must have been more than that. I mean, you just took off.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, under that last restart, I noticed a few laps in and we were running pretty quick, and I started trying to lift even more, and I don't know, we just held it. I was really tight at the end, though. I knew I ran too hard early on because of how tight I was at the end of that run just now, but it worked out. We were able to get a big enough lead and hold on to it.
Makes a lot of sense to me. I do believe that you have just grand slammed this race too, if I'm not mistaken. So you have led every lap. You got the fastest lap, I believe, and you got the pole position. I mean, that is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal for us there. Good deal for points for missing last week too.
Absolutely, it is. Who do you have to thank for being on your car here tonight?
Man, Tim's Corner Motorsports, Matt Stewart, he painted all our team cars. Kyle Mundell down there, Chris Stroop, James Johnson, who was running with us tonight in place of Matt. All those guys, we worked together, did a good job, and we were able to come out on top.
Well, how are you going to celebrate before I let you go?
Well, I don't know. I'm going to go get some dinner and maybe have a beer or two.
Makes a lot of sense to me. Well, Richard, thank you much for your time, and congratulations on your race win.
Thanks, man. Sounds good.
Richard Beasley winning here at the Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. Absolutely incredible here in CASCAR. I cannot believe it. I think it really is a grand slam. He might not have gotten the fastest lap, but based on what I'm seeing, I think he did. We'll go ahead and check back in on that. Still, just incredible, the pace he had. So, thank you very much for tuning in. I'm sorry that we didn't have any commentary this week. We'll come back to that. I should have everything back in order next week. I will do what I can to improve audio and boost it from here. I don't think I can anymore in Streamlabs, but I will check. Thank you, though, for tuning in. And thank you to Schroeder Plumbing, who sponsored our entire season and this race. We got to give them a shout out, of course. So let's go and run through what they have to say, and that is that they are a family-run company that's been in business for over 50 years in the southeastern Wisconsin area. They specialize in residential new construction and remodeling plumbing services. They also work with several local builders, and they will work with individuals hoping to build their dream home or do their own remodeling. You give them a call today at their office number, 262-971-0401. That number, once again, is 262-971-0401, Schroeder Plumbing. We give them a huge thank you for all of the stuff that they do for our league. And we will be back next week, I believe, at Pocono. So we are going to be in for one crazy season, and with the race we've had, that is for sure. So before we go, we're going to go ahead and run through our finishing order, and that will be it. Oh, I think that's, yeah, it's still. All right. So, finishing first, of course, it's going to be Richard Beasley with Rob Carl finishing in second. Kyle Mundell finishes third, with Greg Snellgrove getting a fourth place finish. Jeffrey Belk finishing in fifth. Sixth place is going to go to Brett Murphy. We know that they had a huge battle between them. Tyler Hallahan finishes one lap down. He is the lead car one lap down, but everybody else is back. You can see an even lap further. That is just how fast Beasley was, and with their strategies they had under yellow. Chris Stroop finishes in 8th, Wes Gallo finishes 9th, Matt Malavania finishes 10th, Paul Ems finishes in 11th, Bryn George in 12th, Mark LaPierre finishes in 13th, Jacob McMillan subbing in for Brian Lorenzo finishes in 14th, Cody Snyder finishes in 15th, Ashton Reiki 16th, Ron Boyd finishes in 17th. We had a huge wreck. We got to see that. I believe it was off of turn 1. Patrick Coluccio with a very interesting race finishes in 18th. Mike Sparks in 19th. Fiedler in 20th. Freddie Ann finishes in 21st. Subbing in for Matt Stewart, I believe, is going to be James Johnson, finishing 22nd. Sylvan Seguin finishes in 23rd. Ben McDonald, after an okay start, but then everything really just went downhill from there, finishes 24th. Ben McDonald. Kenny Reel finishes in 25th. And Will Cloud finishes in 26th. Daniel Sky's unable to make the start. So that's going to be it, of course, for our stream, and we'll be back next week, I believe, at Pocono. Thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you to Schroeder Building for sponsoring. Have a good one.